Okay, we are back at Gen Con 2015, and we just got done playing another game of the Grizzled. This is a new game from Cool Mini or Not. It's unlike any game that they have. Quick summary, you have sort of two decks of cards. Deck over here covering up a dove, and then over here we have a deck covering up a monument. And so every round cards will transfer from this deck over to this deck, and then you have a hand of these different types of cards that you're just trying to play, and they're all bad. Every single card is bad. And so you play these symbols out here, and you can see this is a gas mask with some rain, whistle with snow, and so on. If you ever get three of anything, like 3 rain or 3 snow or 3 gas masks, and there's cards that have a mixture of things on there, you bust, you shuffle all the cards that you played into this deck, and then you always, at the end of the round, take a number of cards equal to the cards stuck in your hand, and then move them from here to here, and if you ever again reveal that statue, you lose. You also have cards that are traumas, like hard knocks, and you put these on yourself, and these are different game effects that are horrible and awful. At the end of the round, you take these different coffee tokens, and there's a little direction on there. Thank you, guys. And you pass these back and forth, but you can't tell people that what you choose. And so whoever gets the most of these can clear out all their traumas or reset a special ability on their cards. Each card has a special ability that you can clear certain things out. The other cool thing is you get speeches. So after you are the start player on the following round, you'll get speeches, and then you can use that once per game to choose a card type of these different symbols, and everybody discards them. It's very hard, and I think this is the first time that I've played it correctly, but now I enjoy it more than I think that I have. So we have some special guests with this. Emerson?
Yes.
This is the designer of Spectre Ops, and I can't pronounce your last name. So
it's Matsuuchi.
And he's going to tell us what he thinks of the game.
It's one of those games that really slaps you in the face, but I don't know, maybe it's a little sadistic, but I actually enjoyed it. It was a very difficult one. There were a lot of tough choices all throughout the game, so I actually enjoyed it, and I was just telling Rodney here that I kind of want to play it again, because I feel like now I have a better grasp and I really want to give it another shot. So I think that's a mark of a good game.
Cool, thanks. Rodney Smith.
Yeah, hi. I think one of the things I really appreciate about the game is certainly the theme of it. It's a World War I game, but it's not really about going out there and shooting and killing and all that stuff, which we have fun doing in other games. But this one's more about the psychological trench warfare. So you're becoming demoralized by being in this army. You know, you're facing the terrors of a wet night of fighting and gas and all the rest of it. So the game slaps you in the face, but in a way that suits the theme. It's not supposed to be a walk in the park that way, right? So I certainly appreciate that about it, and I agree. I think with Emerson, when you play, and the more you play, I think you want to go back and go, okay, we made a mistake there. We were too ambitious, because you kind of set the pace of the game. You play out more or fewer cards depending on who's the leader that round, right? So that becomes part of the strategy as well. Yeah. So that's my just quick thoughts on it anyway.
All right, and Mr. Eric Summer.
Hello. It's the feel-good game of the year. What better way to spend a happy evening with friends than by slowly killing them all?
Which you did really well.
I was really good at that, and I hoarded all the coffee.
Yes.
And didn't help anyone. So I was selfish and prideful, and I think I've learned the error of my ways.
Fantastic, thank you. Eric Teo.
Yeah, I like that. I don't usually play a lot of co-op games, but I like that because of the alpha leader problem. And in this co-op game, there's no such problem because we cannot communicate with each other. All right, so and we are making decisions based on the knowledge that we have, the best knowledge that we can have, and based on the cards that we have on the board and in our hands. I almost wish that there's a counter where we can easily see how many snow, how many winters, how many icons there are, so that we can easily tell what we need to play instead of having to look. Especially if it's a big group like 5 players, it's a bit more tedious to see. Yeah. But I enjoyed it overall.
Yeah. I enjoyed it as well too. I pretty much agree with everything everybody else said. It's really hard. I haven't won it yet, and it's very different style of game. So I don't know that I could really speak that cleverly about it. But I like the speeches. That's a very neat thing. I like the different traumas and the different effects. Those are very difficult to get around. But mostly it's very simple, because all you're doing is just playing a card or activating a speech or withdrawing, and that's it. but it's very thinky, and it has a slight Hanabi kind of thing where you're sort of trying to, but I don't even want to say that because it's very, very slight.
Well, there's one other thing that might be kind of interesting is, like, there was actually another table beside us that were also playing the Grizzled, and they won, and they were cheering, and because it's a very difficult game.
And heckling us.
And heckling us a little bit about how we were still in the muck and the mire over here.
My fault, my bad.
It's all right. But sometimes you beat a co-op game and you're like, okay, well, I'm done, right? Because we beat it. But with this one, you can still up the difficulty. If you want, you can start with more cards on top of the piece card, which means you're going to have a harder time starting out. So you can always up the difficulty level more if you want as well.
Yeah, I think the wins are going to be few and far between, and they're going to be that much rewarding when you.
Exactly. All sweeter. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Thank you.